Hello YouTube friends. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I have in front of me a piece of quilting that was done by my great-grandmother. Now, I'm not sure when this would have been done. I'm 63 years old and she died when I was just a kid. So this is a pretty old quilt. This is a quilt that she started, and I'm under the impression that this is the part that would hang on the bottom of the quilt. I don't know what this is called. Maybe some of you have seen this before. If you would know what this particular quilt pattern would be, this sort of looks like Dresden, would like this end part here. That sort of reminds me of a Dresden quilt, but I have no idea what this is. So I received this box years ago, 1995 actually. I received this box from my aunt down in the States, and I told her at that time that I wanted to quilt. So she said to me, "Oh, I have a project for you. I'll send it." So she sent me this box, and in the box was this border part done, all hand pieced, tiny little weeny stitches. This has not been done with a machine, as well as all of these blocks that are already done. And I'm just going to flip through them for you. Put that aside for a minute. So, as you can see, lots of blocks. I'm going to go through them. If I can figure out how to do this. Every color, every pattern of material, fabric. There's some repeats, some are not. I've kind of organized them in repeats. I've organized them a little bit. But obviously this is a scrappy type of quilt. Some of the fabric is actually quite interesting. I love this piece. It's lovely. So there's pretty much, I would think, the makings of the quilt is here. Part of the makings. The patches themselves are here, or the blocks. Again, I don't know what this is called. If this looks familiar to anybody, can you let me know in the comments below? I love this one. Look at this one. Isn't that neat? And I love this one too. The fabrics are just, and you know, these, for the age of this quilt, these are in really good shape. There's no problems with this material at all. So all of these blocks have been hand pieced together by Grandma, great-grandma. Look at them, aren't they lovely? And I actually did put them on my bed, and it's big enough for a king size or a queen size quilt. Now there are no pattern pieces like this piece, this little wedge with a round edge. There's no, yeah, I love this one. Look at the colors. Pink and yellow is very vibrant together. I think Grandma loved yellow, as do I. Pink and green, lovely. She had a good mix of colors. Look at that. And obviously she wasn't afraid to mix up her colors. This is pretty too. Sort of looks like a butterfly when you see it on the camera. But look at these tiny, I don't know if you can see the print. I don't know if my camera is gonna focus or not. Maybe not. No. This is why I need a video camera. The stuff that I'm using isn't conducive to this kind of thing. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? So all these pieces here are ready, I suppose, to be put together. Look at this one. Pretty. They just go on and on and on and on and on and on. And not two are the same. They all have similar fabrics, but the matching up, I don't know that there's any that are exactly the same. I don't think there is. It kind of freaks me out, the hand stitching part. I've never hand stitched a quilt in my life. But because this is something that my great grandmother started, and if I ever finished it, it would be an heirloom, I'd be willing to tackle hand piecing. Look at this one. I love it. I'd be willing to tackle hand piecing. And I even told my aunt at the time, oh, I have to practice on something else. I would never want to start hand piecing this and really make a mess of it. I would just feel terrible. But the little that I remember of great grandma, she was a no-nonsense kind of lady. And she would have said, just do it. Get over yourself. So maybe with a little bit of help from grandma from above, I could actually do this quilt. We're in the blue stuff now. I've kind of stacked them according to color. So in the box also, there was a few extra pieces of the wedge with the circle. This one here, there was a few extra of those. And there's actually a few extra of this diamond shape piece as well that have already been pre-cut, not sewn together, just cut. And there is another piece, which I'll show you in a second, which puts them all together. And it's sort of, well, I can't even explain it. It's kind of weird. I hope you're seeing these. I don't want to rush, but there's so many. I'm quite partial to this red. I love it. Isn't it pretty? All her pieces as well, if you look at the back, she pieced the piece, you know what I mean? Like, this is real quilting. She didn't have enough material to cut the whole piece. She pieced it. Yeah, that's like way more talent than I have, I tell you that. I'm fairly new to quilting, and the quilting that I do is not usually full-size quilts. I do a lot of little quilting projects. Table runners, I do mug rugs, I do little wall hangings, that kind of thing. I have never attempted a real honest to goodness quilt ever. But I might be thinking of attempting one soon. I love this one. The blue is so nice. And like I say, these fabrics are really great condition for being as old as they are. Oh, here's a few that are repeats. Well, that's the same, and that's the same. And this one's a little bit different. And then another purplish one. So that's the stack of squares, or what would you call it? Patches, I guess. Then here's the stack of little pieces. So here's all these shaped ones. There's lots of them. And look at here, she didn't have enough material, so she patched it. There's lots of those. And then there's some of these triangle shaped ones and some of the full triangle shaped ones. And some more of these. These look like they're for this part. See, that's just that triangle. So maybe all of this would have been for the border. I'm not sure. And then there's some little weeny pieces like this. So those are cut pieces that I've not been done with. And then here's a piece where she started to put the whole thing together. I'm going to move this out of the way. So this yellow piece here is the piece that puts the blocks together. Now, in the box was a template, was actually two templates. This template, which is that piece, and this template, which is a smaller one of those. I don't know where that would be used. So she was going to put all of these together with a yellow fabric. I was fooling around with it, I guess, when I first got it, and I was going to put it together. I sort of started to hand stitch this one, and I was putting it together with this color, but look at my stitching, it's just terrible. It's all puckery and yuck. I'm going to take this all apart. So, and then I guess this is just sort of pinned here. I just wanted to get an idea. Then this would go on this side, and then on that side, and on that side. So this frames your piece, I guess. I don't know. So, anyway, this is my someday project. I would love to know what the name of this pattern is. If it's an old pattern from the early 1900s, I would say this quilt may be from 1920s or 30s. I don't know, 40s. I have no idea. My aunt didn't know. And so it's obviously an old pattern, and if anybody out there knows, I would love to know what it is so I could do some research on it. Maybe it's just Grandma's pattern. Maybe it's just something she designed on her own. She was quite the quilter. My aunt had a wedding ring quilt that she did, and it was absolutely stunning. And she always had a quilt project on the go. So maybe this is just her idea of a scrap quilt. I have no idea. So I just wanted to share this with you, and if anybody knows what this is, or can give me any kind of a clue as to what the heck I should do. I believe I might have problem matching this yellow fabric. I'm going to take it to, we have a quilt shop not too far from here. I'm going to take it along with me one day and see if I can get fabric of this color of yellow. If not, what I might do is, I think I would like to put it together with yellow. That's what Grandma had started, and I think that that would be the way to go. So if I can't find this yellow, I might just take this apart and get a different yellow and do the whole thing all in the same. So tell me what you think. I'd be very interested to hear a real quilter's take on this. Like I said, I'm not a real quilter yet, but this might turn me into one. This middle part is quite bulky here in the center. I think this is a hard quilt to cut your teeth on because of the points and everything, but I don't know. I feel like I've been given the task and I need to work on it. So I might have to just very slowly teach myself how to do this and be a little bit forgiving if I make mistakes. I'm sure Grandma wouldn't really care, and she probably would just be very happy that her quilt finally was completed. So that's all I've got for now. I hope you enjoyed this little discovery, and I'm not going to pack this box away. I'm going to keep it up where I can look at it and where I can maybe think about how I'm going to finish this quilt. So for now, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And take care, everyone. I'll talk to you really soon. Bye for now.